1 minute to air.
Good afternoon, this is Chris Elliott from Solent Sport News with your 4pm update. In more local news, Bucks National Championship is well underway in Sheffield. Team Solent are in action across the 3 days. Our reporter Elliot Luxton is in the studio to talk about it now. So Elliot, how do you feel like Solent's chances are? We've got a few athletes going into this competition.
Taking part this weekend, we have Ash Buckman, who's taking place in the triple jump at midday on Sunday with a good chance. We have Sarah Conley, who's taking part in 3 events, shot put and the hurdles today, and then high jump tomorrow afternoon. We also have a special one to look out for, Mohammed in the 1500 metres at 10 to 4 on Sunday. He won it last year, so is a favourite to win it again, and one to watch definitely.
And do you think this competition's a good chance for athletes to try and prove themselves, get onto that next level in their sporting sort of careers?
Yeah, so the event's been taking place for over 100 years, and it's definitely a good opportunity for young people to display their talents and try and move on to the next stage in their careers as athletes.
Great, thanks for talking to us, Elliot. So, Southampton's winter break has come to an end as the Premier League resumes for them tomorrow. Our football correspondent Sam Clark has more on tomorrow's game and the newly introduced Premier League winter break.
Premier League football is back in Southampton tomorrow at midday as Saints host Burnley at St Mary's. A win for the hosts could see them go 10 points clear of the relegation zone. And Southampton boss Ralph Hasenhüttl has said securing Premier League safety is the number one priority ahead of potential expiring player contracts. Shane Long is available for the game tomorrow and is one of those players who is looking to earn a new contract. Hasenhüttl has commented on the Republic of Ireland international's contract situation ahead of tomorrow's game.
36 points. If we have this and we start speaking with the players, a lot of fans, they want to see him longer in our team. I'm with them because he's something of a symbol for our philosophy, a hard-working guy who is always leaving everything on the pitch for the team and for the club.
James Ward-Prowse has recovered in time for tomorrow's game after being stretchered off last week against Tottenham. Burnley will be without striker Ashley Barnes and winger Johan Berger Gudmundsson. And it's injuries like these that chief football writer of the Times, Henry Winter, believes may be helped by the recent introduction of the Premier League winter break.
They're 3 times more likely to be injured playing in the Premier League, which didn't have a winter break then, than in more enlightened countries which did have a winter break. Injuries were occurring in February and March particularly. So the players need a break mentally and physically. It's good in the short term and in the long term.
Do you agree that a winter break in the Premier League is necessary? Let us know your thoughts by tweeting us on @SolentSportsNews with the hashtag winterbreak. Sam Clark, Solent Sports News.
Cricket now, and Solent men's first team have been training hard ahead of the 2020 season. After a disappointing year last season, the team have been busy recruiting new players and are chasing promotion back to the top division. Josh Wolford went down to the Ageas Bowl to find out just how well their preparations are going.
The
The Solent Cricket men's first team have long been one of the best performing sporting outfits at the university, but last season proved a summer to forget as they slumped to the bottom of the top Bucks League, having lost every competitive game.
Sorry, just quickly. What if it's da 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 down down down?
Having competed in the Premier Division 1A since 2011, the squad have played against the best teams in the country, including the coveted MCC universities such as Oxford and Cambridge. Unfortunately, these teams proved their class against Solent. Southampton's batting was the biggest letdown of the season, and the team were bowled out for just 60 runs against Cardiff in June.
Bowling! Oh wow! Cuts back off the surface.
But preparations have begun for the upcoming summer, and spirits appear high here at the Ageas Bowl.
We lost a lot of our players graduating.
That's Arthur Godsall, captain of the men's first team.
We're in a better position than last year, I think. We've got more players actually to pick from, and we've dropped down a league, which I think will help us actually kind of gel as a team and actually as a stepping stone to then get back up.
Solent have been busy in the off-season recruiting new talent, including many young county professionals who bring a wealth of experience to the team. Gareth Struder is a wicketkeeper batsman from South Africa and is a first-year student at the university. He represented South Africa schools and Surrey second 11 and says the energy around the squad has been good.
It's been good, we're putting in lots of hard work. Guys are coming to do one-on-ones, which is really good. Lots of attendance at the gym, so yeah, the boys are working hard and I think everyone's enjoying it and we've got a good team spirit going.
The team currently train 3 times a week, including specialist strength and conditioning sessions and targeted drills to work on every aspect of the player's game.
Sam Bracey, I'm one of the coaches of the first team. So we've had a really good period of time recruiting players, so there's 3 or 4 new guys in, a couple of scholars. So in terms of the strength of the squad from the outside, we're looking really good, and that's reflected in the training. We've made training really specific, and the guys that were around last year trying to learn from their mistakes.
The season officially begins in April, with fixtures due to be released shortly, and judging by how hard the team are training, Solent men's first team are in a good position to chase their dream of promotion.
A local decade-old martial arts club has been hit with financial troubles. Southampton Judo Club lost its main sponsor last summer and has just managed to reopen its doors for the first time. Voluntary work from old members seemed to be the only hope left for the group to bounce back and bring the Japanese combat back into the city limelight. Philippe Peroni explored why judo is going extinct in the city.
Welcome to the dojo. Judo is the sport that involves wrestling and grappling your opponent to the ground, or otherwise pinning them so they have to submit. But the business side can be a harsh reality.
Solent University, and they helped us form the club, get it off the ground. Last year the university opened up its new sports centre. Their support for the club unfortunately had to end, so we had to close with it at that point. The main aspiration is to keep it going. It was quite painful when we were looking after sort of 9 years of failing.
That was the voice of Lance Wicks, coach of Southampton Judo Club. Solent University had been a large sponsor for the sport until they opened their new sports complex last year. Since then, funding has been cut, and the art of judo seems to be disappearing from the city.
Hello, Steve Jones speaking. I'm the coaches at Fleming Park Judo Club. We seem to struggle more and more to attract new people into the club because of the likes of, you've got the mixed martial arts and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and all that on the scene now as well. I mean, a lot of it is going to come down to your advertising, isn't it, really? I mean, clubs do advertise themselves. You know, you have the big clubs, the ones that are, you know, putting out players that are competing nationally and beyond. You know, they'll never struggle for players.
When designing the new complex, Solent had to consider which sports they would make the most profit from. Head of Sport Martin Naylor explained this process upon the building's opening last October.
We didn't have enough to offer the students that were coming, the expectations of everybody coming. So we had to do a focus. Obviously, I mean, the building is £28 million. Some universities are spending a lot more than that. They can do that with impunity. We've got to really make our money work. Are we shutting St Mary's? We're not. We're just passing it back to the City Council.
The university, however, failed to provide any comments on the recent developments and why the judo club had its sponsorship and funding removed. For now, judo remains in Southampton, with the doors to St Mary's opening once again this week. Do you fancy entering the dojo?
That's been all from us today. Make sure to stay updated by following us on our socials at Solent Sport News.